Welcome to the Cannibal Show!
Today we're taking a look at a feud that could genuinely change everything for Brock Lesnar and might just be exactly what he needs to win fans back. Let's get into it. So WWE is trying to close out 2025 with a bang at Survivor Series, WarGames. Cena's retirement tour is its own headline, sure, but WarGames is where WWE is clearly putting most of its energy. And the men's match? Yeah, they've packed that thing with star power. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, huge names all locked inside that structure. Now Lesnar's an interesting case. He still gets that massive crowd reaction in the moment. But let's be honest, the overall fan sentiment hasn't been great lately. A lot of that negativity goes back to that messy Wrestlepalooza match with John Cena. WWE tried to juggle the ESPN crossover hype, and it just didn't land. But there is a chance to fix all that, and it starts at Survivor Series. Because if WWE really wants to turn the ship around, it's time to pull the trigger on Brock Lesnar versus Bron Breakker. This has been a dream match floating around fan circles for a while. Two freak athletes, two absolute monsters. A who's really the top dog type of feud. And the best part, it's actually believable in the current story. Technically, they're teammates in WarGames, but we all know what happens when WWE throws together a squad of villains at the last minute. Distrust, tension, someone throws the first punch. And with Paul Heyman lurking around ringside, a guy who has history with almost everyone in this match, the seeds are already planted. But the real spark is that past meets future dynamic between Lesnar and Breakker. You don't need Hollywood writers for this one. You've got the Beast trying to big brother the new powerhouse, and Breakker, a Steiner through and through, is not the type to let that slide. That clash of egos alone is enough to set off fireworks inside that cage. And suddenly, what could have been a standard by-the-numbers WarGames match becomes something bigger. WWE has struggled with themed PLEs in the past, but they've done a solid job making WarGames feel like a real part of Survivor Series again. Even if Cena versus Dominic for the Intercontinental title is what grabs the casual fan attention, the idea that this match could launch a major long-term feud adds serious weight. Because think about the alternatives. After the Cena situation, the last thing WWE should do is toss Lesnar back into a rivalry with Reigns, Cody, Punk. We've seen all that. Those guys have different directions now. The idea of him finally putting over Gunther should have been huge, but the novelty has really worn off. But Lesnar versus Breakker, that's fresh, it's justified. And everybody watching already knows Bron Breakker needs to run through Brock Lesnar if he's ever going to sit at the very top of WWE. In-ring, it would be wild. Short bursts, explosive power moves, a match that could end any second. And with Heyman on the mic driving the narrative, that alone makes this feud must-see TV. And honestly, this is the type of rivalry that could run all the way to WrestleMania 2026. Picture weekly shows where they're tearing into each other backstage, ambushing each other at random, or fan-filmed brawls outside the arena. Exactly the kind of storytelling WWE has embraced lately. You could even turn it into a multi-match series, a big fight at the Royal Rumble, another one at Elimination Chamber. Then finish it with a best of three and a true passing of the torch moment at WrestleMania. Tell me that wouldn't have the entire wrestling world buzzing. It feels like such an easy win for WWE. Doesn't guarantee they'll do it, but with Heyman right there, guiding both guys and tying the story together, the opportunity is staring them right in the face. If they start laying the groundwork now, before December hits, WarGames becomes something you absolutely can't skip. And kicking off Lesnar vs. Breakker heading into winter would make weekly shows genuinely unmissable. Because that's the goal, right? Build the next big star in Breakker, give Lesnar a late career redemption arc, and set the stage for a huge 2026. Seems like the easiest call in the world. And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you're still here, I appreciate you more than you know. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. It's free, and it really helps the channel grow, and gets my bald head recommended to even more people. Thanks again for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.
Welcome to the